Great day, amazing souls. How are you feeling? So, today, come with a different one. You know, I feel like something that has occurred in my life last night um, is something that I probably need to work on, right? And I'm not ashamed to work on those parts of me that are still lingering, right? However, the thing is, knowing that these things are lingering is that part, right? If you don't recognize something within yourself, then you'll keep on doing the same thing that I'm about to talk about today, right? The law says when we project our energy, both positive and negative, onto other people and assume it is within them, often we often deny that it is within us, right? And I am definitely guilty of doing this, you know. Um, but last night I was paying attention to a conversation that I was having. And the funny thing is, this individual, they're a know it all. And it was like they were telling me that something was much deeper, that there was a deeper underlying issue as to why a particular situation was at hand. And I quickly shut that down and denied it. Well, not denied, but I quickly shut that down and I returned that energy to the sender. Because my thing is, you cannot project onto me what you're dealing with, right? And clearly, you're dealing with this. And the very same individual that say, "Oh, I wouldn't mess with a married guy." Hmm. Now I don't know what it is, but it's like, well, that's what you're going through, it seems. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, I don't, I don't, yeah, I'm good. No, thank you. And it's okay to return that energy back to sender and definitely not receive it. You know, there are times that we can receive people's projections and we will absorb just that, live just that. We can shut that shit down. You don't have to accept it. However, let me say this: I am the type of individual, if someone says something to me or about me, I'm going to go within and say, could what they're saying have any merit, right? And it's good to be able to self reflect, right? But we don't have to accept what people give us. When people are not happy in their own lives, they will try to project how they feel onto you. So definitely be careful of that energy, right? And some individuals do it intentional, and then there are those who do it unintentionally. And either way, you don't have to receive the energy, right? You can most certainly, like I said, return that to sender, baby. This is how you know when an individual um is being intentional about it. When you reject that energy, they'll get upset about it. And the thing is, like, why are you getting upset that I don't want to accept your projection? You know? And this is the thing. We have to be mindful of just throwing stuff at others, right? Because if no one asked you for your damn opinion, you might as well keep that on to yourself, baby. Right? Is a law with that as well, 444. There's a particular law around that as well, and that is the law of request. If no one asked you, you shouldn't be giving your 2 cents. And this is something that I'm also guilty of. I'm used to intercepting, what is it called? Intermingling my my help, and no one asked for it. And it's like seeing those parts of myself, not being upset that I'm that way, but working on those parts of myself that are that way, right? So there's nothing wrong with that. Just really be aware of some of the um what you would call it, habits, some of the habits that we've picked up along the way. So just really be mindful of that, right? And also keep this in mind. This is another sure way to know if you're projecting onto someone when the words you are, or he is, or she is, they are surefire ways of projecting on to. And this is something that I have to constantly remind myself of as well. These are surefire ways of projecting onto something or someone else, right? And what this does is it creates a powerful form of denial. And like I said, everything that I speak, I've either went through or I am going through, right? And let me say this: don't be ashamed or afraid to admit to um not being perfect. We're human, and that's cool and that's fine. But only you can judge you, right? Don't allow other people to judge you. That's not their place. It's not their place, because that'll bring upon shame, guilt, fear, um, all those low vibrational emotions, right? So if when we learn how to judge our own transgressions or judge our own um what's the word, faults, imbalances, then we'll be in a much better space. So keep that in mind, ladies and gents, right? You judge yourself, don't judge others. All right. If you haven't heard it today, I love you. I love me. I love us. I love we. We're all mirrors. But remember, you don't have to try to make someone else be you. Okay. Peace.